At my mother-in-law's birthday dinner in Rome, my seat wasn't there. My husband laughed and said, "Oops, guess they forgot you. My name is John, and I'm 29. It was a beautiful night in late September in San Diego. Lights flickered over the white linen of a large dinner table. The wine was old, but the laughter was even older. A woman stood there, dressed in a navy silk dress she wore the night her husband proposed. She watched an empty space where her chair should have been. Oops, her husband laughed without meeting her eyes. I guess we miss. His mother snorted into her glass. Someone clapped. The cousins looked away, pretending to notice the risotto. The woman stood there for a second too long, letting the silence press in. Then she smiled calmly. It seems I'm not family, she said. She turned on her heel and walked out of the villa into the Roman dusk. 30 minutes later, just as dessert was being plated, the chef packed up his knives. The catering staff left the wine mid. The string quartet went silent. The Mater D handed her husband a cancellation invoice. Everything, the venue, the food, the music was gone. Their faces turned ghostly white. That's when she knew they'd finally begun to understand. A few years ago, she had walked into that family hoping to belong. His mother called her too quiet. She smiled harder and learned to make her fig tarts. His sister said she tried too hard. She tried even harder. They were tradition-bound, private, and cold. But he was warmth, or so she thought. He had soft hands and whispered reassurances. He called her his anchor and said she made the chaos feel quiet. She didn't see the irony then, still looking at him, like he hung stars over the Tiber River. The first crack appeared last winter. He came home late, smelling of bergamot that wasn't hers. The scent belonged to Andrea, his assistant. Andrea had called once, asking if Jack liked his suit pressed for Thursday. There was no Thursday event. When the woman asked him about it, he blinked too slowly. She's just efficient, he said. So was she. She didn't cry. That would have given him the script. He wanted the weepy, hysterical wife. He could console or manipulate. She said nothing, but began watching. She checked his passwords, receipts, and patterns. He was lazy with his lies. That was his first mistake. The second was thinking she'd do nothing. Over the next 3 months, she built her case in silence. She photographed bank statements, copied hard drives, and scheduled private meetings with lawyers. She even had lunch with Andrea once. Andrea ordered a spritz and told her how lucky she was to have a husband so adored by his family. She smiled. Andrea didn't notice the recorder in her purse. She didn't need the affair for the courts. She needed it for leverage for her reputation. You see, in Jack's world, image is everything. Destroy it, and he's ruined. His mother's birthday dinner was the final stage. She offered to help plan it. She booked everything under her name and paid with her money. Money he thought he controlled, but she had already moved it. She chose the flowers his mother loved and the wine. She bragged about it at her bridge club. She ordered monogrammed menus and string lights over the olive trees. She made sure every guest had a seat, except for her. The missing chair wasn't a mistake. It was a test. He failed. The smirk, the laugh, the way his mother glanced at her like she was an unwelcome server. She let them seal their own fate with that moment, then she left. The Mater D canceled everything, as per the signed contract. No refunds. She had timed it all to fall apart like clockwork. Right before the speech, right before the family toast, no food, no lights, just an empty courtyard and an expensive reminder of who'd been holding them up all along. How could you do this? He shouted. This was for my mother. You embarrassed me. She didn't raise her voice. She never needed to. Tell her to call Andrea next time, she said. He flinched. That's when she slid the envelope across the table. It was filled with documents of his affairs, his bank transfers, and a signed confession from Andrea. She had turned on him fast when offered immunity and a job at another firm. She always hated the way he spoke to her. The apartment wasn't in his name anymore. Neither was the car. She had taken her equity and her shares and sold them quietly to his competitor. She stood. You laughed when there was no chair for me, she said as she stepped closer. Now watch how it feels when the ground goes missing under you. He didn't speak, just stared at the papers at the hollow where his empire used to be. Mutual friends stopped calling him. His mother tried to salvage her reputation. Too late, the caterers whispered. The lawyers joked, and her. She moved to the Amalfi Coast and opened a small design studio. It's peaceful, profitable, and hers. People ask if she misses him. She doesn't. She wasn't angry about the chair. She was angry he forgot who built the damn table. Every story teaches something different. Tell me in the comments what this one meant to you.